4x400 relay. Mike, do you see any scratches down there, or do we have everybody?
I think we have everybody.
All right, that means...
Providence.
Well, if we have everybody, it'll be 9 teams times 4, 36 different people. Georgetown is slated to be in lane number 1, Pittsburgh lane 2, St. John's lane 3, Seton Hall in lane 4, UConn in lane 5, Villanova lane 6, Syracuse lane 7. So you're right, Providence and Boston College are not entered. Providence is primarily a long distance kind of team.
Yeah,
Boston College just doesn't have the numbers for some reason. And the lead leg for Georgetown, it's Greg Maripol, Pittsburgh, Albert Ellis, St. John's, Ricardo Thompson, Seton Hall, Anthony Swan, UConn, Rowan Freeman, Tim Curlin for Villanova, Andy St. Remy for Syracuse. And it is St. John's going for the lead with Ricardo Thompson. Syracuse running second now. And University of Connecticut moves up for second place with Rowan Freeman. St. John's, Connecticut, Syracuse. Seton Hall making a move on the outside with Anthony Swan. Down the backstretch, it's the University of Connecticut, the surprise leader. Seton Hall in the second. Pittsburgh is moving up on the outside with Albert Ellis. UConn's Rowan Freeman about to hand off to John McGowan. And McGowan for the University of Connecticut, but right on his heels is Dave Jones of Seton Hall. And Pittsburgh in the third place now with Dave Moore. St. John's has dropped to fourth with Horace Robinson. Georgetown making a move now with Tom Mowat. Syracuse falling way off the pace. And Pittsburgh moves up to second with Dave Moore. Now Moore is about to run down UConn's John McGowan. He's going to try to get him around this turn down the straightaway. And here is the move by Dave Moore. He takes the lead for Pittsburgh. Seton Hall bypasses UConn. They're in the second place with Dave Jones. Jones may overtake Moore. They come around the turn and down the straightaway. Awaiting the handoff, Seton Hall. Dave Jones on the handoff now. And it is Seton Hall into the lead. Seton Hall is in the lead on this third leg. Seton Hall into the lead with James Worthen. Pittsburgh is second now with Franz Johnson. Seton Hall with a big lead now as the field gets stretched out. Seton Hall took the lead, and they have it now. A comfortable margin over Pittsburgh. UConn is third. Syracuse is trying to overtake them now for third, and Syracuse has. Arthur Vaughn is the third leg man for Syracuse. It continues to be Seton Hall, Pittsburgh, and Syracuse. Arthur Vaughn about to hand off now for Syracuse to Quadri Ishmael, disqualified earlier in the hurdle. It is Seton Hall. They have this race, I believe, locked up. Pittsburgh is second, and here comes Quadri Ishmael for Syracuse, trying to atone for his disqualification earlier. Ishmael running hard down the stretch. He's from Wilkes-Barre, Pennsylvania. UConn is getting back into it. Here comes Ishmael, closing the gap on Pittsburgh's Dave Price. Ishmael is passing him into second place. They nearly bump, and as Ishmael overtakes him, the Pittsburgh runner nearly fell down. Seton Hall is going to win this race. Here comes the move by Pittsburgh. Dave Price overtakes Ishmael. Price wins back second place. Seton Hall coming down the stretch will win it. Pittsburgh has regained second. Syracuse now trying to hold on to third. They may lose third place as well. At the finish line, it is Connecticut getting third from Syracuse. Exciting finish in the final race of the day, and Seton Hall's anchor, Ramon Palmer, wins it for Seton Hall.
What they want.
This is after the baton pass on the next to the last lap. You see Price got bumped by Ishmael.
I think we might have a disqualification. I saw the red flag from the referee on the far end of the turn here.
Well, that would be a heck of a thing for Ishmael. He gets disqualified a second time.
He had a very tough meet. He's young. He'll bounce back, and he'll be able to overcome this.
Seton Hall with their winning team, Anthony Swan, Dave Jones, James Worthen, and Ramon Palmer. The victorious Seton Hall Pirates for John Moon. They win the 4x400 meter relay.
Come on, Derek, get it close. Get a victory lap.
They ran a great race.
Yeah, okay.
And we'll be back to wrap up the 1989 Big East Indoor Track and Field Championships right after these words. At Drumlin's, you're just a short drive away from a full-serve facility. Whether you're just learning the game or perfecting it, our professionals make it a truly pleasurable experience under beautiful conditions. Members can enjoy the spacious new Drumlin's Members Lounge, and there's the public restaurant open to everybody. For your next party, consider Drumlin's Banquets. And when you've got travel in your plans, it's Drumlin's full-service travel agency right at your fingertips. Drumlin's, so much more than meets the eye.
For generations, Syracuse University football has met athletic competition at the highest level. This is Jim Ridlon. Next fall, when the university celebrates its 100th season of football, I'll be creating a large wall sculpture, similar to the one I did for ABC Sports, to commemorate the occasion. Memorabilia from past seasons is needed for this landmark sculpture. Your donation will help keep alive the memories of the proud tradition that is Syracuse football.
And welcome back to the Carrier Dome in Syracuse, where all the running and the jumping and the throwing has come to an end, and we're at the end of the 10th annual Big East Indoor Track and Field Championships. Hi again, everybody. Dave Cohn along with Mike Morris. And Mike, before we give our analysis of what we particularly enjoyed, let's go down to Dale Drybpolcher and Mike Tirico, find out what they enjoyed during the track meet. Gentlemen?
Well, Dave, I think we saw some very talented athletes, Dale, down here. I think surprises and not some surprises on the individual aspect of it. Let's start with the one surprise from the high jump for the men. Ray Moody had won this event 3 times, and he did not win this year, which was a big upset. He passed several times and didn't win. Teams that did well, Syracuse did well. They won a couple of field events, as did the University of Connecticut.
I think Syracuse did well. Tony Washington won earlier in the weight throw, and Chris Hall won the shot put. And that's kind of how it went. It kind of divvied itself out among other schools. But as you said, Connecticut had a good showing also in field events.
Yeah, Connecticut with the win in the pole vault as well. On the women's side, well, Janine Bonner, how can you say anything more about her? She won for the 4th straight year in 2 events, the long jump and the triple jump. I think her performance has spoken for itself in these 4 years of the Big East Indoor Track and Field Championships.
Well, she's top ranked in the country, and obviously was here in the NCAAs, but she's been a real great competitor for the Big East.
Syracuse won 2 events, as did St. John's, as far as the field events went for the women. Some interesting events, and good to work with you again.
Nice working with you, Mike.
All right, and that's it from the field. Let's go back upstairs for the final time to Mike and Dave.
All right, thank you, gentlemen. Mike, you said that one of the things about the meet this year was the fact there were no real superstars, save for Vicky Huber, and so a lot of people had chances and took chances, and they came through with very fine performances. Antonio Johnson, a freshman from right here in Syracuse, winning the 55-meter dash, your event.
He had a tremendous race. I mean, he had to come from behind to win the race, and it was just phenomenal to see that happen.
Another performer, again from Syracuse, who had an outstanding meet, was Tracy Darmstadt. She came back to take second in a relay today. She won the 200 meters yesterday, and the Syracuse women did quite well, even though the team title went to Pittsburgh this year.
I think Tracy did a great job today, and I think it's just going to help the women's program tremendously here. I think, that people can see that Syracuse has a great program and is starting something new here.
Pittsburgh, in winning the women's title, has dethroned Villanova, the team that won it 6 years in a row. Let's now check the men's scoring, because the defending champion coming in was Georgetown. Let's see if they successfully defended their title in the men's indoor track and field championships. And alas, they have. The Georgetown Hoyas outscoring Pittsburgh, with Syracuse coming in 3rd. Villanova in the middle of the pack. Seton Hall, Providence, Connecticut, St. John's, and Boston College. Georgetown's John Troutman voted the top male performer in the meet, as he won the mile and the 1500 and took second in one of the relays.
Oh, he just ran an outstanding mile. I mean, it was a